Tonight, as the city grows silent and your heart slows its rhythm, heaven begins to move. The room may be dark, but above you, unseen light is rising. You've carried the weight of the day, words that hurt, fears you couldn't name, prayers that felt unanswered. Yet even now, in the quiet, God leans closer. He sees what no one else saw. Every tear, every sigh, every silent battle you fought alone. And he whispers, "You made it through this day not by chance, but by my hand." So before you close your eyes, let this be your moment of surrender. You don't have to fight tonight. You only have to rest. Because while you sleep, God will surround you with his light. Stay with me until the end of this prayer. Let peace find you where fear used to live. If your heart needs rest tonight, say Amen in the comments. When the night falls heavy and your thoughts refuse to rest, heaven takes notice. You lie there still and silent, but your spirit trembles beneath the weight of unseen battles. The kind no one else knows about. The kind you've learned to hide behind a quiet smile. Yet even now, as darkness stretches across your room, God is already near. He doesn't need light to find you. He is the light. And tonight he enters the room you thought was empty. The presence of God is not loud. It moves like breath, soft and sure. You might not hear it, but your soul feels the shift. The air grows lighter, the heaviness begins to lift. What felt like fear moments ago starts to unravel under his peace. Heaven does not rush, it arrives with purpose. God walks through your worry as though it were smoke, and suddenly you can breathe again. He sees the things you never said, the tears that didn't fall, the strength it took just to get through another day. And though no one else understood the storm inside you, God was there through every silent scream. He counted each moment of exhaustion, each sigh that carried hope and despair all at once. He knows how tired you are. And he comes not to question, but to comfort. The world may have dismissed your pain, but heaven never did. Every prayer whispered in weakness became a command in the divine. Tonight those prayers rise again, but this time they are carried by angels. You are not abandoned, you are surrounded. The walls that once felt like barriers are now the boundaries of God's protection. His light stretches wide, reaching even the corners of your fear. You thought the battle was yours to fight. You thought peace was something you had to earn. But God steps in and says, "This one is mine." He doesn't ask for your perfection, he asks for your surrender. Because victory was never about how strong you were, but about how close he was. And he has never been closer than he is right now. Heaven is not distant. It leans close when the world feels cold. The Creator who commands galaxies bends low to hear your trembling voice. And as you whisper his name, the air shifts again. Shadows begin to move, retreating from the sound of divine authority. Every weapon formed against you begins to fall silent in his light. You don't see the angels, but they see you. Their wings stretch across the room, forming a circle of light around your bed. The war you can't see is already turning in your favor. Demons of doubt and fear that once haunted your peace now tremble at the presence of the Almighty. You are no longer the one being attacked, you are the one being protected. God stands at the threshold of your heart and whispers, "Enough." The anxiety that once roared like thunder begins to fade to nothing. The lies lose their echo. The torment of uncertainty quiets beneath the stillness of his voice. It's not your imagination, he really is here. And his peace is not a feeling, it's a fortress. You've spent so long trying to understand the why this pain, why this silence, why this delay. But tonight heaven doesn't offer explanation, it offers rest. Because what you need most isn't an answer, it's assurance. And God's presence whispers what words cannot say. You are safe, you are seen, you are mine. So you stop fighting, you stop replaying the fears, you stop carrying the weight that was never yours to bear. The room still looks the same, but something has changed. It's as if the light has learned your name, and though nothing outside you shifted, everything inside you did. The battle is no longer yours, it belongs to the Lord. Now, stillness settles like a gentle blanket. You breathe deeper than you have in days. The air tastes new, like morning before dawn. This peace, this divine calm isn't temporary. It's not fragile, it's born from eternal promise. God has entered your night, and where he is, no darkness remains. So let go. Let heaven work. The same hands that shaped the stars now hold your heart. The same voice that spoke the universe into being now speaks peace over your life. You are surrounded by light that never fades, guarded by grace that never fails. Sleep will come, but not as escape. It will come as worship. For tonight the battle ends, and the victory begins. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm 27:1. These words echo through eternity. Yet tonight, they belong to you. They are not just poetry, they are protection. Each syllable carries the weight of heaven's promise. God declares that no darkness will outshine his light. Fear trembles at the mention of his name because light and fear cannot share the same space. As you whisper this verse, something shifts inside you. The fear that held your thoughts hostage begins to fade. The presence of God fills the gaps between your heartbeat and your breath. He doesn't just light the path ahead, he illuminates every wound, every hidden ache, and begins to heal. What was shadowed now glows with divine clarity. The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Psalm 27:1. You are not as fragile as you think. Heaven's strength runs through you. You were made in the image of endurance. The same God who steadied David's hand against Goliath steadies your soul tonight. The strength you need isn't earned, it's given. He will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge. Psalm 91:4. Imagine it, the Almighty spreading his wings over you as the night deepens. The air grows still, but the warmth of his covering surrounds your body like a living shield. You can almost hear the heartbeat of heaven, steady and strong above you. Every breath becomes a prayer of trust. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. Psalm 91:4. Faithfulness in changing, unbroken, everlasting. That's who he is. Long before you knew how to call his name, he was already calling yours. His faithfulness isn't a promise of ease, it's a guarantee of presence. When everything feels uncertain, his constancy becomes your refuge. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Isaiah 60:1. You were never meant to live in permanent darkness. Even now, heaven commands you to rise. God's glory is not waiting for morning, it's shining now, even through the tears, even through the silence. The same light that spoke the first dawn into existence is awakening your spirit again. When you speak his word aloud, the air itself responds. The unseen world listens. Its angels pause in reverence as truth is declared. Every verse you pray becomes a key unlocking peace within your heart. Scripture is not inkit, is fire. And tonight that fire burns away everything that was never meant to stay. You are standing between the old you and the renewed you. The past may still whisper, but the word roars louder. God's promises do not expire with time or circumstance. They are alive, written not just in holy pages, but on the walls of eternity and on the chambers of your heart. So let these words wash over you like rain after drought. Feel the weight of them settle gently into your chest. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to receive, because the word doesn't ask for comprehension, it asks for surrender. When David wrote these psalms, he wasn't safe. He was surrounded. Yet even there he said, "The Lord is my light." This is faith, not in what you see, but in what surrounds you unseen. Tonight you are living that same truth. The darkness doesn't mean God is gone. It means his light is about to be revealed. As you listen, every word becomes a weapon of peace. The verses echo beyond your room into the heavens. Angels move with each declaration, aligning your night with divine order. You're not simply reading scripture, you're joining heaven's rhythm, breathing in its harmony. Now rest in this truth. His word does not return empty. It travels through your home, through your memories, through the places that still ache. It heals, it restores, it rebuilds. And when you finally close your eyes tonight, the same voice that spoke creation will whisper one last time, "You are safe in my light." Somewhere beyond what eyes can see, heaven begins to stir. The moment you spoke God's word, the unseen realm trembled. Angels moved like wind over still water, forming a barrier of light around your name. What felt like silence was never absence, it was preparation. God waited for your whisper, and at that sound he commanded the armies of heaven to rise. You may not hear their wings, but the atmosphere changes. The heaviness that sat on your chest starts to lift. It's not coincidence, it's warfare. Every anxious thought, every voice that said you're alone begins to fade into nothing. Heaven doesn't fight with noise, it fights with light. And tonight that light is invading your darkness. There is a sound in the unseen, like thunder beneath stillness. It's the clash between fear and faith, between despair and divine promise. And every time you breathe out his name, the light grows stronger. Darkness loses ground. Demons that whispered defeat now flee in confusion, because your room has become sacred territory. You are not praying alone. The Spirit of God intercedes for you with groans too deep for words. Every tear is translated into a command of power. Every sigh becomes a spark in heaven's language. The King himself leans forward, listening not from a throne of distance, but from a place of intimacy. you have his full attention. And when heaven listens, earth must respond. Chains break, accusations crumble. Shadows that lingered too long lose permission to stay. What once haunted your nights now bows before the authority of Christ. You don't fight by shouting, you fight by resting. Because stillness in his presence is louder than the noise of fear. There are angels standing guard at every doorway of your life. Over your mind, over your family, over your dreams. Their swords are not of steel, but of light, pure, unburning, endless. And though you cannot see them, they see you. You are surrounded by an army of peace. Even your silence becomes a shield in the hands of God. Every curse spoken against you breaks like fragile glass beneath the weight of grace. The words that tried to wound you return to dust. For the Lord has declared, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. You don't need revenge. Heaven is your defense. What others meant for harm, God now bends into healing. There is movement in the night now, a gentle stirring of divine presence. You feel it in your breath, in your pulse, in the space between seconds. Peace begins to glow like embers in the dark. God is rewriting the narrative of your pain. What was once the scene of battle becomes the ground of testimony. Heaven's fire is not destructive, it refines. It burns away fear, pride, and every lie that claimed to define you. The real youth is one made in his image emerges from the ashes, stronger, softer, sanctified. You are no longer the one struggling to stand, you are the one standing covered in light. So lift your heart now. Even if your body is weary, your spirit is awake. The enemy tried to bury your hope, but heaven planted it instead. And seeds planted by God cannot die, they rise. You are not waiting for victory, you are living in it. The proof is peace. In the stillness, listen closely. Can you feel it? The shift in the air, the warmth on your skin, the way your chest feels lighter. That is heaven's response. You prayed, and God answered not with words, but with presence. The atmosphere of your life has changed, and it will never return to what it was. Now the night belongs to Him. Every corner, every memory, every fear. Heaven has taken over. The battle is not just being won, it is already finished. So rest, child of light. The same God who defends you in the dark will lead you into morning, for where His presence dwells, victory never sleeps. The battle has quieted now. What once roared in your mind fades into holy silence. The air feels different, clean, calm, weightless. Heaven has not only fought for you, it has settled upon you. You are no longer standing in the middle of war, you are standing under divine covering. This is what safety feels like when it's wrapped in grace. God does not simply visit, He abides. His presence lingers like a warm glow after sunset, filling every space that was once shadowed. The fear that held your breath hostage releases its grip. Even your heartbeat begins to slow, syncing with the rhythm of eternity. Peace is not arriving, it's already here. Look around you, even if your eyes are closed. The unseen light fills the room like morning mist after rain. You can sense it in the stillness, the hush that only heaven can bring. Angels no longer stand ready for battle. They now stand in reverence. The war is over, and your soul is the victory. Every thought that accused you now falls silent under the weight of mercy. The enemy's voice has lost its echo. The space once filled with worry is now occupied by peace too sacred to describe. It's not the absence of trouble, it's the presence of God. That's why your body relaxes as your spirit exhales. In peace I will both lie down and sleep, for you alone, O Lord. Make me dwell in safety. Psalm 408. This isn't just a verse, it's a promise in motion. You are dwelling in safety, not because life is perfect, but because His presence perfects your peace. The darkness around you no longer intimidates. It listens. Heaven begins to sing, not in sound, but in sensation. It hums through your veins, through the walls, through the rhythm of your breathing. You realize that the very air has changed temperature, softer, warmer, alive. God is not watching from afar. He is seated beside you, resting where you rest. Every scar, every weary thought, every unspoken cry now finds rest in His hands. He smooths over the rough edges of your heart, like water shaping stone. You feel smaller but safe, not weak but surrendered. Peace doesn't erase your story, it redeems it. The room has become a sanctuary. The world outside may still spin with chaos, but here heaven reigns. God's light spills across the corners of your life. reaching even the places you tried to hide. There is no condemnation in this glow, only compassion, only calm. You remember the weight you brought to prayer and realize it's gone. The heaviness left quietly, carried away by unseen hands. That's how God works. Gently, completely, without spectacle. Where you once felt abandoned, you now feel anchored. Close your eyes and imagine the wings of peace stretching across your mind. Each feather glows with divine warmth, covering your fears like a blanket. God doesn't promise a stormless night, but He promises you'll never face it alone. And His word is unbroken. You are now resting beneath the same covering that guarded prophets, shepherds, and kings. The God of ages hasn't changed, only the story has. And in your story, peace wins. His protection is not temporary, it's eternal. Even as you sleep, the throne of heaven stands watch. Let yourself rest now. The presence of God is not leaving, it's keeping. The peace that passes understanding has found a home within you. Every heartbeat declares, I am safe, I am loved, I am surrounded by light. Sleep is no longer an ending, it's communion. For tonight, heaven sleeps beside you. Now, the world grows quiet. Even the wind outside seems to slow its breath. You are no longer awake, yet heaven is. God does not rest when you do. He begins His most delicate work while your eyes are closed. The same hands that shaped galaxies now touch the corners of your heart. Repair begins where exhaustion once lived. Every burden you forgot to lay down is gently lifted. God doesn't wait for permission, He moves with compassion. He knows what you carried today, what you didn't say, and what you couldn't pray. His mercy reaches into those hidden spaces, rearranging what was broken, breathing life where you only saw survival. This is what divine restoration feels like. No thunder, no noise, just quiet miracles unfolding. Cells renew, minds reset, hearts realign with the rhythm of peace. You are being rewoven by the Creator, thread by thread, memory by memory. His grace doesn't erase the past, transforms it into wisdom. Heaven never sleeps. While the earth turns, angels move through the night with assignments of healing. Some hover above your home, others stand guard at your door. The night that once frightened you has now become a sanctuary of presence. What was once darkness is now holy ground. The Spirit whispers to your soul as you drift deeper into rest. You are loved. You are safe. You are mine. The words echo in places that once held fear. Dreams begin to change, no longer chaos but calm. You are no longer escaping the world. You are being embraced by heaven. God restores without announcement. He doesn't need the spotlight. He works in the unseen. What people couldn't fix, what time couldn't heal, His touch restores quietly. As your breathing slows, His grace rewrites your story. You don't have to try anymore. He's doing it for you. The Spirit of God moves like a river under the surface of your soul. It washes away anxiety, rinses bitterness from the heart, and replaces it with serenity that feels eternal. You are being renewed in ways words cannot describe. Sleep becomes sacred, no longer an escape, but a partnership with grace. If you could see the unseen, you'd weep for joy. You'd see angels carrying light into your memories, painting over pain with purpose. You'd see the fingerprints of God on the moments that once shattered you. Nothing is wasted. Even your tears have turned into seeds, blooming while you rest. There's a reason you are still here. God isn't finished. He is preparing. Every quiet hour is a prelude to the dawn. While you rest, heaven gathers strength for the next chapter of your story. And when morning comes, it won't just bring sunlight, it will bring breakthrough. Rest is worship. To sleep in faith is to declare, God, I trust you more than my control. And heaven responds to that surrender with movement. Miracles don't need witnesses, they need belief. And right now, belief is pulsing in your stillness, attracting heaven's power to every promise that bears your name. The silence of the night is not empty, it's sacred. The universe hums with divine purpose while you dream. The same God who watched over you as a child now guards your rest with infinite patience. You are covered by peace so deep that even fear forgets your name. Sleep now, not as the world sleeps, but as the beloved of heaven. The room glows faintly with unseen light, the kind that doesn't fade when morning comes. You are held by the one who never lets go. And as you drift into dreams, remember this truth. While you rest, He works. The first light of morning spills across the horizon. It touches the edges of your window like the hand of God brushing against creation once more. You open your eyes and the air feels different, lighter, warmer, alive. Heaven kept its promise. The night didn't win. The storm broke, and what remains is peace too deep to measure. While you slept, God moved mountains you never saw. He closed doors that would have led to pain and opened paths you weren't ready to walk yesterday. You didn't witness it, but you can feel it. The quiet certainty that something holy happened in the dark. You are not the same person who fell asleep. The world outside begins to stir, but your spirit is already awake. The sunlight isn't just light, it's revelation. You realize that what felt like delay was preparation. God didn't forget you, He was fortifying you. Every unanswered prayer became a seed of purpose now ready to bloom. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Psalm 30:5, this is more than poetry, it's prophecy fulfilled. The same God who watched your tears through the night now greets you with joy. Not the fleeting joy of circumstance, but the eternal joy of assurance. The battle ended and you emerged radiant. You sit in the stillness of morning surrounded by a peace you can't explain. The chaos that once felt endless now feels small beneath the presence of grace. You are living proof that darkness cannot extinguish divine light. God didn't just protect you, He transformed you. Look back for a moment. The pain, the prayers, the sleepless nights, they all led here. Nothing was wasted. The same tears that once fell in sorrow now water the roots of strength within you. Every trial became a teacher, and every waiting season became a doorway to blessing. You are not waking up to survive, you are waking up to shine. Heaven's fingerprints are on your day before you even begin it. Where others see mourning, God sees mission. He is sending you out not as the broken, but as the beloved. Not as the weary, but as the redeemed. The angels that guarded you through the night now walk beside you into daylight. Their armor still gleams with the reflection of His glory. You may not see them, but their presence lingers, gentle, steadfast, unseen. The same covering that surrounded your dreams now accompanies your steps. The promises you doubted yesterday begin to unfold. Doors open, hearts soften, answers come. What once seemed impossible now feels inevitable because heaven's timing has met your faith. God turns waiting into witness. You are standing in the evidence of His goodness. You feel gratitude rise, quiet and steady. It's not the kind you force, it's the kind that flows. You no longer question how or when, you simply trust. Because after seeing the night turn into morning, you finally understand God was never late. He was perfect in His pace. As sunlight paints your room, lift your heart and whisper, "Thank you." Let that word become your worship. Let gratitude be your language. You have survived what once felt unending. You are still here, still chosen, still surrounded by His light. The morning is not just outside, it's within you. Step into this day knowing the truth that will carry you through every season. God never sleeps, and His light never fades. You are the evidence of that promise. The same hands that held you through the night now lead you into victory. So rise, beloved. Today is proof that darkness was never stronger than dawn. Take a deep breath. Let your heart quiet. You've walked through darkness and arrived in light. You've seen what happens when heaven enters the room, how peace replaces panic, how faith silences fear, how love wins without noise. Close your eyes for one more moment. Whisper this prayer with me. Lord, thank you for this night of victory. Thank you for protecting me while I slept, for fighting battles I never saw, and for waking me up in your light. I release the past, I trust your plan, and I rest in your presence. Surround my home, my mind, and my family with your peace. Let your light never leave this place. Now open your eyes and look around. The same God who covered you in the night will guide you through the day. You are not leaving His presence, you are walking within it. If this prayer brought peace to your heart, type Amen in the comments. Share this video with someone who needs to feel God's light tonight. And don't forget to subscribe to Daily Psalms, so tomorrow we can pray again under the same light of heaven.